Alright, so I'm going to do another reaction video. So, this is going to be a reaction to Deadliest Week Tornadoes, uploaded by Swegle Studios. So, I wanted to react to one of Swegle Studios' videos, because, well, truthfully, no one's really done a reaction to him before, so, figured I would, and stuff, so, yeah.
So today's video is a little more serious, a little more darker than my usual videos. We're going to be talking about tragic events and death, so viewer discretion is advised. It seems to me that only the largest,
the Columbus tornado.
powerful, most destructive tornadoes get the attention, when in reality, a tornado is still a tornado and it is a very serious situation, even the weak ones.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how big a tornado is, it's still devastating.
Tornadoes in history. That includes F-Zeros and F1s. But before we get into that, be sure to subscribe for more tornado content. I got a long list of videos right now, so hopefully I can get one out every other week. That's the plan.
I'd like to see you cover the tri-state tornado.
Define what an F1 tornado is. Most of the weak/small tornado examples I'm going to use today occurred before the enhanced Fujita scale, so I'll be referring to just F1 instead of EF1. These tornadoes have wind speeds between 75 and 110 miles per hour. This kind of wind speed can knock over trees, it can lift cars, they can do light roof damage, and notably, they can cause a lot of damage to trailers, aka motorhomes, aka mobile homes.
Yeah.
They can also cause a lot of damage to boats. Now that we get that figured out, let's move on to the first example. In mid-November 1989, a rare tornado outbreak produced 40 tornadoes from Alabama
40 tornadoes.
The deadliest of these tornadoes was an F4 that hit Huntsville, Alabama on November 15th.
Huntsville.
First call for yesterday's tornado came around 4:30. A funnel cloud was sighted near the old airport by Huntsville police officers training at the department's K-9 unit. The training site...
Last tornado that we had here in Alliance was like last year, I think. I don't remember when it was, but well, you know, I would have recorded it, but I didn't even get the emergency alert pop-up on my phone, so I didn't even get to record it. Like, I guess with TikTok, emergency alert pop-ups you don't get the pop-up when you're on TikTok, I guess. I don't know why it didn't show up. Like, usually when they get a tornado, it happens immediately and stuff, so I didn't even get to record the flipping sirens going off, which is usually what I like to do when we get tornadoes, because, well, for some reason, some of you may know, or may not know, but I have a huge interest in tornado sirens, such as, like, well, my favorite being the Thunderbolt, which is a rather old siren from the Cold War, which there are multiple of these sirens still up. But a lot of them have been getting replaced because, you know, they're old, they're not being made anymore and stuff. And, yeah. I'd love to hear one day. Stuff. Closest to me are 2 4 5 port Thunderbolts in Canton. While there's but those are out of service, so my best bet would be Youngstown or Barberton, as they still have active ones, so, yeah, but, yeah. Well, but I haven't really been interested in recording tornado sirens for a while. But one day I will get back to it, so, yeah, yeah, I don't know how many, I think the first tornado I actually did record on video was, like, 2018, a little bit after we watched, me and Dad went to see, my dad went to see the Rampage movie, we had a tornado that day and stuff, and then next year we had another one in 2019, which I did record as well, but unfortunately both the 2018 and 2019 videos are all, I deleted them all because of a flipping these policies that were coming to, that one person wanted to incorporate, but, well, everyone thought, well, it was, look up, like, DMCA, Tom Tillis, thing, um, copyright music bill and stuff. And yeah, and everyone overreacted to that, thinking that everyone who used copyright music was going to go to flipping jail and for 5 years and have like a fine. But well, that ended up being a flipping misunderstanding. So I just delete my old videos for no reason. So yeah, but I think we also did have another one in 2020, which yeah. Then 2021 we had another one, which I did record, in fact, and you can check it out if you'd like. Just look up Alliance Ohio tornado warning, and you'll find it. And then there was also and then there was the one from last year. So we're honestly kind of having tornado warnings every single year from now on, like one tornado a year. So who knows? We might have one this year sometime.
This tornado resulted in 21 fatalities. Overall, 259 homes and 80 businesses were completely leveled in the tornado's 18-mile path. This proved to be the deadliest tornado of the outbreak. However, the second deadliest occurred a day afterwards on November 16th near Monroe, New York. This rare tornado traveled north for just about 9 miles. Towards the end of its path, the tornado struck the East Coldenham Elementary School.
Weather experts blame a tornado for the tragedy in New York Elementary School yesterday. They say it was definitely a tornado that hit.
But if anyone's interested in recording a tornado siren someday, I'd recommend it. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing to do.
Children were eating lunch in the cafeteria. The teachers and administrators
lots of people do it. It's not a very popular thing, but a lot of people do it and stuff. If y'all wanna look up some videos of them.
Killing 9 children and injuring 18 others.
7 children died here, 18 others were injured when a glass and concrete wall collapsed in a school cafeteria while elementary school children were eating lunch. All those who died were from 6 to 9 years old.
Dang, man. 6 to 9 years old.
A helicopter arrived to the scene shortly after the collapse. This event is often referred to as the East Coldenham Elementary School disaster. The tragedy wasn't over yet, though, as one indirect death would occur 2 days later when another student was involved in a car accident by a driver who was distracted by the devastating scene.
Oh, dang.
After the disaster, the family of the victims reached a settlement in 1995 and payments were made by the Valley Central School District, as well as the architect and the structural engineer.
One of the things I wonder is, like, I'm sure a lot of y'all have done this for school during the tornado drills. You know, we'd all go to, like, the hallway, we get on our knees, bent over, so our head touches the floor, and then we cover our head with the back of our hands, like, and stuff. I wonder if that even works at all, because, truthfully, like, I mean, maybe it does, but, I don't know, but, you know, like, I'm honestly, my best bet would be flipping go for the nearest basement and everything. But, you know, I guess if, you know, let's say it works, then, well, who knows? I'd have to go for it myself. But, I don't know. Does that even work at all? Because I feel like it wouldn't.
Now, it should be worth noting that there is some controversy as to whether this was a tornado or a downburst. When Fujita and others surveyed the damage, they felt it was more in line with a downburst rather than a true tornado, as they couldn't find a direct path near the school. However, as of today, it still remains technically confirmed as an F1 tornado. The confusion comes up because there was a confirmed F1 tornado that was 9 miles south of the school. So either this happened at the very end of that tornado's path, or was indeed a downburst.
Well, who knows, man.
The next tornado I want to talk about is the deadliest F1 tornado in recorded history. This tornado was so deadly that it's actually deadlier than any F2 tornado in recorded history. On June 18th, 1978, around 60 people were getting ready to enjoy dinner and a musical on the Whippoorwill Showboat on Lake Pomona in Osage County, Kansas, about 35 miles south of Topeka. The weather was humid and hot, but overall it seemed nice. Unfortunately, it took a turn for the worse, and around 7 p.m., a small F1 tornado lowered from the cloud base just west of the lake. Not many photos of the tornado exist, however, there are a few photos that show the mist from the lake. As the tornado crossed the lake, it struck the whippoorwill showboat, in turn causing the boat to capsize. Of the 60 occupants, 16 would drown and 3 others would be injured. This photo right here was taken shortly after the tornado capsized the boat, and you can see the first bystander boat arriving to help out on the scene. Most of the drownings were caused by being trapped beneath the boat as it rolled on top of them.
And then the wind just hit it and it fell right over.
I managed to grab a breath of air, and I came back up again, and I was drugged clear under that time.
Scuba divers and other state workers quickly arrived at the scene and tried to aid in the rescue efforts. As more and more victims were found, the local camp park office became a temporary morgue. Fortunately, they were able to rescue 2 who were trapped in a pocket of air beneath the boat. This is also simply known as the Whippoorwill disaster, and is actually one of the deadliest tornado events in Kansas history. To me, this disaster is very reminiscent of the duck boat disaster that happened on Table Rock Lake.
Duck boat disaster.
And that wasn't even a tornado, that was actually caused by a derecho.
But first,
derecho.
rising from that lake tragedy in the middle of a storm last night. It was Branson, Missouri.
During the 2016 duck boat disaster, 17 would lose their lives. Another similar scenario actually happened with a much larger and more violent tornado in 1840. On May 7th, 1840, the Great Natchez tornado destroyed over 100 boats as it crossed the Mississippi.
Good grief, 100
causing
boats.
250 people to lose their lives. It's possible the death toll was even higher, as slaves were likely not counted as part of the final death toll. Since about 1950, there have been over 325 confirmed F1/EF1 tornado deaths, and there's been about 27 F0/EF0 tornado deaths. And while the Caldenham disaster and the Whippoorwill disaster are the 2 deadliest F1 tornado disasters in recorded history, I do want to mention a few other notable examples. The following examples all share one thing in common. The deaths are all related to mobile homes, aka motorhomes, aka trailers. One recent example.
Yeah, trailer homes and tornadoes
people died in the small town
do not mix well together.
An EF1 tornado tore through a trailer park.
From Waverly, this is significant stuff. Trees uprooted, cars overturned.
The Waverly tornado was rated an EF1 with wind speeds estimated between 100 and 110 miles per hour. And with these high wind speeds, several motorhomes left their foundation. In fact, one motorhome lifted and flew into the side of a church. And within that motorhome, a 50-year-old man, a 26-year-old man, and a 2-year-old boy were killed. Another example was actually the deadliest tornado in Alabama in 1991. A short-lived F1 tornado touched down near the town of Mumford in Talladega County, Alabama. This F1 tornado was only on the ground for 1 mile. However, unfortunately, along that 1 mile path were several motorhomes. Even though this tornado only had winds around 100 miles per hour, the winds were still strong enough to strip the motorhomes from their foundation and to completely destroy them. Tragically, this tornado would claim 5 lives. 4 of the victims were all from the same home, and a 5th was in a different motorhome down the street. Overall, 8 mobile homes were destroyed and 18 others were injured. It's worth noting that the National Weather Service claims that about 40% of tornado-related fatalities come from mobile homes or motorhomes. So what should you do if you're in a mobile home and a tornado is coming?
Get
First
to
of
a
all,
closet
you
or a
need to have
bathtub.
plan well in advance before the tornado. Before
Those
there's
are
even a
usually
tornado
like
watch,
the
you should
main
just have a plan
places.
in general. The best thing you can do is leave the motorhome and go to an actual
That too.
strong structural building, preferably one with a basement. But if there's one nearby that is a legit home with no basement, go to the center of that building on the lowest level. If there's absolutely no structure around, then your best bet is to leave the mobile home and find the lowest lying area around you, a really low ditch. And that might sound crazy to some people. Why would I leave a mobile home to go out into a ditch? Well, if you're in a ditch and you're underground, like you're below the hill, keep in mind the winds are going above the ground level. They're not nearly as bad in the ditch, so it's actually safer than you might think. However,
Okay, so
obviously
it
it's
is-
not ideal.
So I see how
end of the
that
day,
works now.
Have a plan. If you are a city, you should really consider putting in tornado shelters near trailer parks. In fact, Tuscaloosa, Alabama has notably already done this near their suburb of Holt after the 2011 super outbreak.
Well, that's
Not
good to know.
all motorhome deaths occur with tornadoes. In fact, during the Dorade show in
I don't
August
even know if
2020,
Butler Roman Park
a woman
has
in
that.
Fort Wayne, Indiana was killed when high
Butler
winds
Roman Park
took
has a
over her
tornado
home.
siren at
So
least.
what about F0 tornadoes? Well, according to the Tornado Archive, aka one of my favorite websites, you should definitely check it out. The deadliest F0 tornado occurred near Thompson, Georgia on May 24th, 1955, and had 3 fatalities. I couldn't find too much
3
info
of them.
about this tornado online, mostly because it was a day before the deadly Great Plains
There's a
tornado
doggy.
outbreak. Another notable F0 tornado occurred on May 1st, 1983 in Illinois, and it killed 2 people, as well as one on August 9th, 1983 in Minnesota that also killed 2 people. The final example I want to bring up was an F1 tornado disaster that occurred on May 26, 1974. This
Water
is
spout.
probably the 3rd deadliest F1 tornado with 6 confirmed fatalities. I'm not exactly sure what happened with this tornado. I couldn't find much information about it. Perhaps it was a water spout. Perhaps it was another tragic
Yeah, because it
boat-related disaster.
it looks like
If
it's on
anyone
water,
has any
so
more information about
likely.
this specific tornado, this is likely overshadowed by the 1974 super outbreak as a whole. So yeah, can't find much information, but if you have some information, let me know. And that concludes our video on the deadliest small and weak tornadoes. Just goes to show that you always want to be weather aware. You always
Yeah.
want to have a plan, especially if you're in a mobile
Unfortunately,
home,
you know,
especially
I'm
if
one of
you're
those
on
people who wants to
water
record
or
the
boat,
storm.
because sometimes it can be sunny one moment and the next
I'm usually
you could be in
the
a
tornadoes
bad
never really
situation.
come
Thanks again for
around
watching.
city
We'll see you in the
limits
next
and
video.
lights. Tornadoes never usually. I feel like the main place where tornadoes happen is usually like flipping out in the country, which my mom lives like out in the country, so yeah, you know, the country is more vulnerable to where a tornado would spawn. And of course, some tornadoes do spawn in city limits, like the Tuscaloosa tornado, the Joplin tornado, stuff. The tornadoes like that and stuff. Yeah, I would love to see Swegle Studios cover the tri-state tornado and stuff. Which I wish we had some photos of it, but we don't even have that. But people have described what it looked like, and well, I guess the reason why it killed so many people was because people didn't know what it was, because from what I've heard, it didn't even look like a tornado. It just, apparently, or according to people, it just looked like some sort of like I guess like fog bank or something, like a rolling fog bank stuff. So I guess people just thought it was that, and people thought it was also kind of looked like a boiling cloud and stuff. So yeah, if someone could do like maybe like a simulation or animation of what the tornado did look like, I'd like to see it. Stuff like, but yeah, like someone told me, like just like I don't well, I've heard some rumors that it's like, and someone also did tell me that it was most likely either he said it was either like multiple tornadoes that just formed into like one big one, or it was like rain wrapped, which, you know, rain wrapped tornadoes, they're not good, because they're just so covered by like rain, you literally can't even see it. It's invisible. So those are probably like the worst ones to get a rain wrapped tornado, because you can't even see it. It's like invisible stuff. Like you could probably there probably are times where you can somewhat see it, but well, but if it's like too invisible, you really can't see it and stuff. So yeah, but anyways, that's gonna be it for my reaction to Deadliest Weak Tornadoes by Swegle Studios. So hope you all enjoyed the reaction. Link to the original video will be in the description below if you'd like to check it out, and I'll see y'all next time.